हेलो हेलो।
Yes, sir.
कितने लोग ज्वाइन किए? हेलो।
सर 12 लोग। 12 लोग हैं सर।
शुरू करें?
यस सर।
We have already discussed that the ancient mariner, along with his other mates, is making his journey in the sea. He is making his voyage in the sea, and suddenly the storm breaks out in the sea, and the sea was taken to the land of ice. The sea reached the land of snow, the land of mist, the land of fog. Nothing was visible. There was no creature. Wherever the ancient mariner sees only and only the ice is seen. You may say simply that it was land of ice, it was the region of snow, and there was nothing but only ice and ice all around the ship on which the ancient mariner, along with his friends, are. Suddenly, the ice started cracking. The ice starts splitting, breaking into pieces, and while breaking into pieces, growling type of sound is created. The sound of roaring is created. The sound of howling is created. And this sound is just like a noise all around the ship. Suddenly, the poet tells the ancient mariner sees a creature coming out of the ocean, and it is an albatross, and it is coming out of the fog. The poet tells that nor shapes of men, nor beasts we can, the ice was all between. The ice was here, the ice was there, the ice was all around. It cracked and growled, the roared and howled, like noises in a sound. At length did cross an albatross. Through the fog it came. I have told you that the land of the ice started cracking, started breaking into pieces, and growling type of sound is created. Roaring sound is created. howling sound is created, and this sound seems to be a noise. And after this, at last, a creature seems to be coming towards the ship of the ancient mariner, and this creature is a word, and its name is albatross. Albatross is a big sea word. So the poet sees an albatross coming towards his ship, passing through the fog, as if it had been a Christian soul. Actually, there was no man there, there was no birds, there was no beast. Suddenly, the poet takes notice of an albatross, that is a word, rather you may say a she word coming out of the fog, and this word was taken to be a Christian soul. And the poet takes it. The poet says that the ancient mariner takes to be a Christian soul who is coming to save my ship, who is coming to protect us. We held it in God's name. As soon as the ancient mariner, in the company of his other shipmates, seized the albatross, they started welcoming, they started remembering Parampita Parameshwar, remembering the name of Parvardigar, the name of Christ, that, oh God, many, many thanks to you. I was passing through the hard times. My position was critical. What to do or what not to do was problem before us. Where to go or where not to go was problem before us. So you have sent this word as a Christian soul to give us the protection. So we welcomed in the name of God, taking albatross to be a Christian soul. And we welcomed the albatross as a guest, as we welcome a guest who comes to our house, and we serve him some breakfast, some food. Similarly, taking the albatross to be our guest, we served him food, and it ate the food. It had never eat, and round it flew. The poet tells that we greeted it, we welcomed it, and we gave some food to the albatross. It took the food, and after taking the food, it started flying over my, flying round and round the ship. The ice did a split with his thunder feet. The helmsman steered edge through, and a good south wind sprung up behind. The albatross did follow. When the ancient mariner and his friends supplied the albatross with food, it ate, the albatross ate, took the food which was given to him by the ancient mariner as well as his friends. It started flying around the ship, and suddenly the ice started breaking into pieces, started splitting, and it started creating the sound like thunder. And the helmsman, it means other mariners, started sailing their boat, sailing their ship, and suddenly a good south wind started blowing, and the ship started going forward, and behind this ship, or this ship was followed by the albatross. Miracle started taking place there. It was a kind of miracle for the ancient mariner. They were very much wondered, after all, why did it happen? Why has it happened? Before some time, the wind was stopped. It was not blowing. The whole land was covered with ice and ice. But this, when the albatross appeared before us, we served him the food. It took its food and started flying over my ship, around my ship, and suddenly the ice broke into pieces, and the sound of thundering was created, and my ship started going forward, started moving. It is a good sign for them. Not only this, even the south wind started moving, started blowing, and it was pushing the ship towards north, because now the ship is coming back, and the albatross started following the ship. And every day, for food or play, came to the mariner's hollow. Every day, the albatross used to come to the mariner's ship, the ancient mariner's ship, either for food or for playing with them. A friendship was formed between the mariners and the albatross. The albatross became a creature of playing with them. The mariners used to pass their time by giving food to the albatross, by playing with the albatross. So for some time the albatross might have disappeared from their sight, but after some time it used to come to the ship of the mariners, and as soon as the albatross reached before their ship, they used to give food to the albatross, and they started playing with the albatross, because there was none with whom they could pass their time. So, in mist and cloud, on mast and shroud, it paused for Vespers 9. In this way, in the mist and cloud, on the mast or the shroud, it used to fly over mast and shroud in this mist or cloud for 9 days. What I mean to say is this, that all the mariners in the company of the ancient mariner, or under the leadership of the ancient mariner, passed their 9 days and 9 nights in the company of the albatross. Everything was going smoothly. All the mariners sitting on the ship were feeling very well. They were passing their time in the company of the albatross, who used to fly over mast and shroud. Though the mist was there, the weather was cloudy there, but they used to play with the albatross, and in this way 7 days and 7 nights were spent by the mariners along with the ancient mariners, sitting on the ship. The ship was going forward smoothly. The south wind was blowing. It was helping them, because the south wind used to push their ship towards north, while all the night through fog smoke white glimmered the white moonshine. All the night, when the night used to come, the smoke looked white, and the white moon used to shine in the sky. God save thee ancient mariner the says that the ancient mariner was very much thankful to God who had saved their life from this critical situation. Why lookest thou so? With my crossbow I shot the albatross. Here you must remember one thing in a clear-cut way, that this is the story being narrated by the ancient mariner to the wedding guest. You must remember one thing, or you must not forget one thing, that while narrating the story, suddenly the face of the ancient mariner appears to be horrible, fearful, horrible. Some changes take place on the face of the ancient mariner. He looks furious. Then the ancient mariner, to see the ancient mariner, the wedding guest tells, why do you look horrible, fearful, so furious? And he is also frightened to see the horrible face, the furious face, the fearful face of the ancient mariner. And then the ancient mariner tells, with my crossbow I shot the albatross. He himself accepts. The ancient mariner himself admits that I don't know why, but with my crossbow or with my arrow I shot the albatross. It means I have killed the albatross with my crossbow. We have finished the first part of the ancient mariner. Now we have to start the second part. The first part ends with the killing of the albatross. The sun now rose upon the right. You must know, when the journey started, the ship was going towards south. Now the journey is way back to the pavilion, so it was coming back. It is coming from south to north. So while going southward, the sun was rising on the left side and the sun was setting in the right side. Now just opposite to this, the ship is going northwards. So the sun is rising at the right side and it will set into the left side. The mariner tells, the sun now rose upon the right. The sun was rising upon the right side. Out of the sea he came. The sun has been personified here. The albatross has also been personified. And you should remember that it symbolizes a Christian soul. Christian soul stands for Christ. So, I shot the albatross. The albatross has been written in capital letters. That is the symbol of personification as well as standing for God, standing for Christian soul. And the poet tells, the sun now rose upon the right. Out of the sea came he. The sun has been personified here. Personification means non-living thing is treated as a human being. So out of the sea came he. He has come for the sun. It has been treated as a human being, taken to be a human being. Still hid in mist on the left side went down in the sea. The weather is foggy. The whole atmosphere is wrapped into the mist and the sun is rising and it is rising in the mist and it is setting in the left side. It was rising upon the right side and it was going down into the sea on the left side. And all these things are happening in mist and fog. And the good south wind still blew behind. After killing the albatross, suddenly the south wind started blowing, but no sweet word did follow, because the south wind is blowing, but the ship is not being followed by the sweet word, that is albatross. Meaning thereby that all the mariners sitting on the ship are missing the presence of the albatross. अब लगता है कुछ खाली खाली जैसा इन लोगों को. They were missing something. They were not feeling well. So the good south wind is pushing the ship. It is blowing, but no sweet word did follow. The ship is not being followed by the sweet word, nor any day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow. Now the albatross did not come either to play and I had done a hellish thing. It would work them woe for all averred. I had killed the word that made the breeze to blow. Ah, wretched, said they, the word to slay that made the breeze to blow. I had done a very bad thing. I had done a hellish thing by killing the albatross, and all the mariners, all the shipmates of the ancient mariner started criticizing the action of the ancient mariner. They started condemning him. They started telling him, all the other mariners started telling the ancient mariner that you have not done a good thing by killing the albatross, and you are just like a devil, and it means, do you know, you have killed a Christian soul, and it will bring a kind of misfortune upon us. So you have killed a word of good omen. It had brought the wind to blow, and you have not done a good thing by killing the albatross. It was a good omen, because when the albatross came to our ship, the wind started blowing. So it was a good omen for us. It was a good creature for us, and you have killed it. So you have not done a good thing by killing this albatross. Nor dim, nor red, like God's own head, the glorious sun uprist, then all averred. I had killed the word that brought the fog and mist. Suddenly, the sun started shining in the sky. Suddenly, the fog disappeared. The mist vanished, and the mawsam became clear. The cloudy weather was removed, and the sun started rising in the sky, shining in the sky, and when the mawsam became clear, all the mariners became very, very happy, and they started appreciating the work of the ancient mariner, that you have done a very good thing by killing the albatross. It was the albatross that had brought the fog and the mist. So it was right. Your killing of the albatross is right. They started telling the ancient mariner, they started supporting the ancient mariner. Such words to slay that bring the fog and the mist. You have done a very, very good work by killing the albatross, because after the killing of the albatross, the weather became clear, the cloud was removed, the mist disappeared, the fog disappeared. So you have done a very, very good thing by slaying the albatross, by killing the albatross. The fair breeze blew, the white foam flew. The breeze started blowing, gentle wind started blowing. The white foam floating over the surface of the sea also disappeared, also removed. The furrow flowed free. Now the sea was completely free. We were the first that ever burst into the silent sea. They were only the creatures who were talking to each other, appreciating the action of the ancient mariner, praising the work, praising the killing of the albatross by the ancient mariner. The sea was completely clear. The sea was completely free from the foam, from the ice, and the silence was broken by the talk of the mariners. They started talking, murmuring among themselves regarding the action done by the ancient mariner. Down dropped the bridge, sail dropped down. Suddenly, the blowing of the bridge stopped. The sails dropped, and the situation again became critical. Bad situation came. Misfortune started falling upon them. The miserable condition came upon them. It was sad, as sad could be. The situation was as sad as it could be, and we did speak only to break the silence of the sea. There was none other than us. Only we mariners were there to break the silence into the sea. We used to speak to each other. After all, why the bridge stopped? After all, why the sails dropped down? Why the situation became so sad? They started chatting with each other, talking to each other. They were only there to break the silence of the sea. Now, life in death started. This is the punishment for the mariners. all in a hot copper sky, the bloody sun at noon, right up above mast did stand, no bigger than the moon. The sun started shining, hotly shining in the sky, and due to the warmness of the sun, the sky looked like a heated copper. Heated copper. The sun looked bloody at noon. And when the sun came over the mast of the ship, it looked like a moon, as small as the moon. The situation became worse, and all the mariners started suffering from the heat of the sun. The sun looked like a piece of heated copper. The sun looked red as the copper looked when it is put into the fire. So, the sun is burning like the fire, and it looks as red as a piece of heated copper. Means the situation is not favorable. The sun, a scorching sun is shining in the sky, and they were suffering from the heat of the sun. यही रहने दो, आज जाना है, वो कॉलेज में फंक्शन भी है और तबीयत भी हमारी ठीक नहीं है, लूज मोशन हो गया है. ठीक है. हेलो. यही रहने देते हैं. लूज मोशन, आई एम सफरिंग फ्रॉम लूज मोशन. क्लास ले भी नहीं सकते थे, लेकिन ले लिए. तुम लोगों का टाइम रहता है. तो कॉलेज भी जाना, एक फंक्शन है, उसमें आई हैव टू पार्टिसिपेट इन ए फंक्शन which is going to be held on the college campus. So thanks to you all. हो सकता है अगला दिन क्लास ना भी हो, हम इंफॉर्मेशन दे देंगे, एक जगह जाना है, हो सकता है. तो कल गए तो परसों जाएंगे तो दे देंगे. थैंक्स टू यू ऑल.
थैंक यू.